Self-described love punk takes the forefront with today's guest, whose new album I've Already Been to the Moon and the accompanying music video for Star for You are out now. For Televised Magazine, please welcome Isaac from Boy Girl. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so the music video for Star for You, it's quirky, kind of karaoke style production. It's vintage and I'd say it's nostalgic
Mhm.
in its look and feel. How did you guys decide that this was the route to go with on that?
I felt like it just fit the song. The song is pretty compared to the rest of the album. It's a lot more like simple, I guess, and just Maxine's voice is very like kind of cute and innocent. And I just kind of had the idea of a performer magician kind of, um, and that idea just kept on growing, and we just thought karaoke style would be perfect for this.
Yeah, and I think it turned out really well. It's a great music
Oh, thanks,
video.
man.
Yeah, you guys have done quite a few music videos.
Yeah.
How is the what's the creative process behind putting a music video together beyond just like because some music videos you see and it's like, oh, this just
hmm
looks like they're trying to replicate a live performance, but
hmm
there's a certain art to it as well.
hmm Yeah, I mean, with the last one that we did, it's for the song Two Candles. Maxine's very into stop motion claymation stuff. She does that. She went to school for that kind of stuff, and so we thought, oh, what if we just incorporate that into one of the videos? So we kind of collabed on that and just try to see like what would be best for that video. So in that video, you see like the little guy kind of like reaching for the moon and like attempting to like grab it and stuff, and eventually
Mhm.
falling. So um, just like yeah, I mean, for that, it's more about like I guess when it comes to a video, it's more about like okay, it's not making the video just for the sake of making a music video. It's kind of like
Mhm.
more about the art behind it. It's like what do I want to like kind of portray here? What like visually, what do I see here that could be cool to express to people? You know?
Yeah, it in my opinion, it adds like a different aspect to music that some people overlook, which is a visual aspect. It's why we see music being used in like film and TV to great effect because the visual aspect adds so much.
hmm
We've kind of touched on the fact that this is off of the new album. I've already been to the moon. I've got a cassette coming in the mail. Sadly, it's not here yet. But you've described the creative process in the press release. It's, quote, at times daunting and other times very rewarding when you achieve what you hear in your head. What
hmm
was the creative process like on the record as a whole?
As a whole, I mean, is it's a little, or I guess, a learning process. Just because it's just a lot of things could go wrong, and a lot of things did go wrong.
Hmm.
We're using like an old computer, so sometimes you ran into a lot of like glitching, um, and also just like realizing that sometimes you just have to wait before actually recording and maybe like flesh the song out more before
Mm.
actually like hitting record. So I ran into that a few times, and but I mean, yeah, like I said, sometimes you kind of have this idea in your head, and when you hear the playback, and you're just like, wow, this is actually really cool. This is kind of what we're aspiring to do. And
Yeah.
sometimes you get those moments, and that's what kind of makes you kind of just push forward.
Seeing something that you've thought of and you've put effort into and you've watched go from an idea to a
hmm
fully fledged thing is very rewarding. You mentioned like using an old computer and how that had caused some issues. Were there any moments where you just like lost a ton of progress from glitches or crashes or whatever?
Um, it was more like it just took a long time to and things. I'd be in the middle of trying to mix or edit, and it just crashed. I was like, okay, great. Luckily,
Hmm.
nothing ever really got lost, but
Yeah.
it was just it was just annoying. Like it took way longer than it should have, basically.
Yeah. How long did the record take to put together? I mean, w when it went from just the first idea to the final product.
I would say definitely over 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah, like 2.5 years, something like that.
That's that's
It's like
pretty
forever.
long in the album process, you know?
Yeah.
Did the ideas change at any point? Is the final product like drastically different from the first idea, or was it just like small changes along the way?
Um, well, I guess I mean every song was usually the way we did it is like, we wrote like one song at a time
Hmm.
and recorded that song. Wrote another song, recorded it.
Okay.
We recorded everything ourselves, so we had the luxury of being able to do that.
Hmm.
As opposed to like, okay, let's get like five songs together, go in the studio, record all these, and then do whatever else afterwards. But it was more like one at a time. So the process really changed from the beginning to like the last song,
Hmm.
and more of the way we recorded it, like the way we recorded the guitars, the way we recorded the vocals. It's I felt like the last like 4 or 5 songs that we recorded was a lot more. I just liked the way it turned out
Yeah.
more, I
That's
guess.
good to hear.
Hmm.
The album's kind of fresh in people's minds. It's only been out for around a month now. What have you guys been feeling seeing the reaction to the record online and what people have been saying?
It's been really nice. People have reached out and said some really nice things. I guess just when you put yourself out there like that, especially like an album, there's a kind of like a roller coaster of emotions.
Hmm.
There's certain points where it's like, oh, it's really nice that people are saying this and people are listening, and there's also like the thoughts of just like, oh man, I wish I would have there. Like, maybe you kind of regret some things, but it's more just like too much in your head. It's kind of
Yeah.
just overthinking stuff can be
I think it's
easy to do, but
really easy to get into your own head when you're passionate about something and you want people to see the vision the way you
mhm.
see the vision, you know?
Yeah, but I mean, I guess it's at the end of the day, it's a big like stepping stone and a milestone, and it's getting us to the next part of our music writing and music careers, I guess.
Hmm. Smaller artists sometimes don't have the ability to like put everything on a physical format, which you
Hmm.
guys are able to do with this. There's a cassette release that I bought off the Bandcamp that's not here yet. There's also, I
Hmm.
believe, a CD
Hmm.
release as well. Is that right?
Yeah, and then we have a
Yeah.
vinyls coming up in a
Okay.
couple months. Should we get here in July? So
Okay.
that's going to be released through Yay Records, which is a local record label
Hmm.
through Oxnard, which is where we live, and they've been around since like 2010. So they
Hmm.
have a lot of history.
Nice. What's it been like getting to see people in the world, in Oxnard and outside of California, owning a physical representation of what you guys just spent 2.5 years working on?
It's cool. I mean, it's I guess kind of something that I mean, I've been making like bootleg CDs for years, for just
Hmm.
like even before this album, we had like EPs or even just like smaller projects, and that's always been like since I was a kid. I always thought, especially CDs, that's what I grew up with.
Yeah.
I always thought that was like, dude, this is if I can make a CD and someone wants to buy it, listen to it, or whatever, is interested in it in any way, then that's like the coolest thing to me.
Yeah, and that's a thing I love about CDs and cassettes that vinyl doesn't offer is the kind of like DIY bootleggy aspect of it of like I have
Hmm.
a CD burner attached to my computer underneath me. I could burn any CD I wanted,
Yeah.
whether it's my own stuff, my friend's stuff, anybody's stuff.
Hmm.
Vinyl doesn't have that luxury, but at the same time vinyl has its own perks. But yeah, the DIY aspect is really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Who are some of the big influences on the record sound-wise? Like who were you guys listening to or who shaped the sound?
Um, it's been like a slightly evolving sound, but I would say for the most part, it's a lot of kind of twee bands from like
Hmm.
late '80s, early '90s, noise pop stuff from the same era, to even more like post punk stuff. So it's a bunch of bands, really. I mean, sometimes when it comes to like writing a song, it's like it won't even be music that might necessarily like inspire. Maybe I'll watch a movie that's like, oh, this person made this great piece of art, so now I want to make something myself. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I get that. Yeah. So to kind of piggyback off of that, this is a question I just love asking people.
Hmm.
If you could collaborate with any artist, past or present, who are you picking?
Ooh, it's a tough one. Um, I mean, Steve Albini's always been like kind of a
Hmm.
hero of mine. Just the way he's kind of wraps himself with the music industry.
Yeah.
it's always it's like a healthy way of doing it, I guess. So
Hmm.
he has just great attitude of like working with people, and then his production style is always awesome. Um, yeah, I mean, rest in peace. I think
Yeah.
he's one of the greats.
Um, so another thing that I like asking is to give a little insight into the people behind the music as well. Like what keeps you going outside of music, hobbies and interests wise? You mentioned movies. Are you a big film guy at all?
Yeah, yeah, both of us. We're yeah, I'd say we film lovers for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, what are some of your favorites? I've got 600 movies at home. So it's
Um,
another big hobby of mine as well.
nice. Yeah. I mean, I love. I guess it's always safe to pick like any Jim Jarmusch movie. He did
Hmm.
like Down by Law and Mystery Train. But even like yeah, any Scorsese movies to even more like lesser known like John Waters or Gregor Rocky movies. That's a little more of the LGBTQ side of film, which I always think is really cool.
Yeah, I mean it is Pride Month, so we got to shine a spotlight on
Yeah,
that.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah, movies are just they're a great way to experience art and they interact with other art forms as well too.
Hmm.
So it's great to hear that you appreciate it just as much as others do.
Oh yeah.
We got through all these questions super fast. It was great talking to you. Before we get out of here though, where can fans find Boy Girl on social media?
Social media. So our Instagram is what we use mostly, and that's boy girl four, number four ever.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so there you go. You can find him on Instagram. And the final question that I ask everybody, what are your three favorite songs at the moment that you would recommend to everybody and that you want to recommend to people watching this right now?
Just in general.
Yeah, just in general. Can be from anybody. Can also be your own music if you've been listening to it.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, I've been listening to the Cameron record. Cameron Winter album a
Okay,
lot
I love
lately.
it. I
Yeah,
love it.
it's
Heavy
so good.
metal. I just reviewed it about a week or two ago.
Nice.
$0 is a beautiful song off that record.
Yeah, I love all the songs. Really, it
Yeah.
took me a moment to get into it.
Hmm.
But once it settled, it really hit me. And he's really
Yeah.
talented. Yeah,
He's got such a unique vocal style that it reminds me of like Captain Beefheart in a way, if you know who he is,
yeah.
where it like takes you a little bit to get used to it. And I'm glad that I
Hmm.
started with his band Geese
Yeah.
before I got into his solo stuff because it made that transition just a little bit easier. But he's so talented, and it's wild to think that he's 22 years old or 23 years
Hmm.
old. He's like a year and a half older than me,
Yeah.
which is insane, the level of talent he has. Anything else you've been listening to lately?
Um, I was just listening to before this the new Horse Girl album, which I
Okay.
really like.
I have not listened to
Um,
that one yet.
it's very good. It's a different approach than their first album. This is their second album, and
Hmm.
it's a lot more minimal and more like pop oriented. Really good songwriting. They have two vocals that they harmonize a lot with. Really good stuff.
Nice. I will
Yeah,
have to check it out.
yeah. And
Um,
can I think of one more?
one more.
Let's see. Oh, Elias Rottenfeld. He's the singer of Ice Age.
Okay.
He put an album last year that I really like.
I have not listened to m much Ice Age or him at all.
Yeah, Ice Age is really cool. They're like a they start off as like a noisy punk band, but now they developed their sound to more like singer songwriter, and he just put out an album last year. It's really good. A lot of like also kind of minimal, but there's like a lot of strings on it. He has a really
Hmm.
interesting like unique voice that I really love,
Yeah.
and really good lyrics.
Sounds like something I'd be interested in. So thank you for
Yeah,
the recommendations. Thank you for sitting down with us today, by the way.
of
Everybody
course.
make sure that you go listen to the album now. We'll have a link to listen to it down in the description. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Thank you.